Warning, this podcast contains Phoebe. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the SCN TV podcast for Heroes Reborn, Season 1, Episode 11, Send in the Clones. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Nikki.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's good.
So, this really kind of snuck up on us.
It did.
We were not aware it came back. That's why there's only two of us tonight. Yeah. We're doing this the day before the next episode airs, so we really cut it close on that one. But
yeah.
What'd you think? Was the break needed?
The break was really needed. I think before the break, the show started to drag for all of us that was watching. We all started nitpicking a little bit more than we should. And there's a lot of action, a lot of story-driven just good things happening this episode.
Yeah. I'm actually more frustrated that it went on break and came back for 3 episodes. Like, there's so many other shows that have ran well past the time Heroes has been off the air. They could have just ended it and had their, had it done before the winter break. It could have been done.
It's true.
So I guess I'm more aggravated that, like, because it's still a really good story. The story's great. It's not like they filmed any more over the winter break than they needed to.
Nope.
The stuff's already been done, so it really never makes sense to me. It's probably just they want to drag out the end of the show, because I know a couple new shows and stuff are premiering, so they want this show to lead into that, but the show hasn't been doing that well ratings-wise, so I don't see the draw.
It's the way that, because I think I mentioned this earlier when I was talking to you, is everybody that I've talked to about Heroes Reborn, I praise it highly, and I say, you need to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, nah, I'm going to wait until I can watch it in one sitting. And that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if that's the view for the general viewership, I mean, that are hopefully going to watch the show, then the ratings now don't matter. The show's going to get canceled, which...
It actually did.
It did.
Yeah. The way that they glaze over this is Heroes Reborn has always been billed as a special event, as in it's a miniseries that was never intended on having a second season. However, if this season just like went through the roof, ratings up the wazoo, they would have been like, oh guys, guess what? Season 2 is coming.
Yep.
So
And
it's just a cheap way to get out of it. They put themselves in a position before it even aired that they could get out of if it didn't do well. So. And
a lot of the actors and actresses said they would come back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they didn't have the opportunities.
I mean, look at all the actors and actresses that said they'd come back if Heroes ever did come back. And here we are 5 years after Heroes Season 4. And for 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. Yeah, 5 or 6 years, and here they are, and they did come back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a shame, but at the same time, I feel like this is enough. I do. I don't. I mean, it's hard to say without seeing the end, but I'm at the point where I don't necessarily want more. I want to see it end, but I don't necessarily want more.
I kind of take this whole, like, saving the world thing, and I look back at Buffy the Vampire Slayer. How many freaking possible times can you save the world without, before you just don't want to anymore?
Yeah. I feel like Heroes Reborn could have went a different way instead of the whole save the world, save the cheerleaders, save the world, like, mantra that they've had, through the first 4 seasons, 5 chapters, 4 seasons. They could have... done like Save the Evos or something, that felt more personal instead of overall threatening, because like the Evos this season have already been at like the brink of destruction, Like, you know, with everything that Matt Parkman's doing, everything that Erika's doing, like, it seems like, and you know, especially what Erika's been doing, and, you
Yeah.
know, painting them in a bad light and turning people against them and everything. Like, this could have just been about Evos in general. Like, they didn't have to drag the whole world into this. Because, I don't know, like, look what Matt Parkman, right? So all this time we're looking at Matt Park. Oh, he was such a good guy. What the fuck happened? Like, you know, this episode really just gave the background we needed to fill in those missing gaps. It was just something really small, where, you know, he just said, you know, wouldn't you get tired of hearing people's thoughts all the time? Every little thing that they're nitpicking, complaining, bitching, like all that, you know.
And even though they weren't his problems, they put him in a fit of depression, and then his family left him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I was really mad at Matt the first time they introduced him this season, and I wanted to punch him in the face a few hundred times.
Yeah.
But now seeing that, you know, I mean, I should have expected it was something like that because, you know, I don't hear people's voices. I don't know what it's like.
Right. Right. No, it's true. But, you know, I think anybody could relate to other people's problems, you know, becoming their own, even though they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets overwhelming. It really does. So I can't blame Matt. You know, his whole family walked out on him. He's got no one. So we find out this episode that Sunstone Manor is his. It's not Erika's project or anything. This is Matt's. This is something Matt did. Matt is trying to put everybody into like this perfect little utopia so everybody's happy and they don't have to deal with, you know, the bad things. And that really just added such dynamic to Matt. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but we see
hearing pathetic thoughts anymore.
Right. We see, you know, I guess it's more self-fulfillment, you know, for him too, because he doesn't have to listen to them. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's like the one place he can go for that. But, you know, he's saying that it's for the benefit of everybody else, but it's kind of his own selfish benefit too. But, yeah, but Renee and Taylor go there, the Haitian, Renee, the Haitian. And they're talking to Matt, and Matt pulls a gun on Renee, and what I first thought was popped him in the side of the head.
That's what I thought too.
After a couple repeated viewings, I like just that one scene, I saw he put the gun next to Renee's ear and fired it off. So he didn't actually shoot him at all. And that broke Renee's powers. Because the Haitians always had like this power blocking ability where it suppresses people's powers. In season 1, season 2 and stuff like that, when you'd see Matt Parkman, you know, the original heroes, you see Matt Parkman trying to read the Haitian's mind, it's just like, you can't. Anywhere in the vicinity of him, you can't. And the same would go for his mind control. Like, as long as the Haitian was around, he couldn't do it. So now, what is the Haitian's power exactly? Like, I thought it was just him being in the proximity. He's just like an anti-magnet, you know, like just suppresses things.
Maybe, I mean, he was pretty focused on their project that him and Noah were doing with that company.
Primatech?
Yes, Primatech. They were really focused. So, I mean, maybe he wasn't in full control of those powers. And now he's had 6 years of, you know, time and a different agenda to hone on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you saw, like, you've never seen him, like, put his hand out and, like, just, like, because that's what he did in the scene when he was trying to, like, block Matt Parkman, and, you know, it actually looked like he was causing him physical pain. So we never see him do any hand gestures in the previous seasons, but now he was. So I think he's actually, like, being able to, like, target them and focus them. Because if it was just his ability just to block powers just around him, none of his friends would be able to do what they have to do to save the day.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know if it's just his ability to concentrate or if it has to do with him hearing or, you know, because the gunshot sound deafened him. I don't know if it deafened him or broke his concentration. So I don't know if Renee's powers are concentration or revolve around him being able to hear something, like a frequency, you know, some kind of level of that, to allow him to actually be mind controlled. I didn't think Renee was capable of being mind controlled. So if it's something that was just like innate. Like, it was just on him all the time. It was nothing that he had to control. It wouldn't work even if the gunshot sound, went off. So this is something now going 9-10 years later after the start of Heroes that,
Yeah.
we're still learning stuff about Renee, which is really cool.
He's always been one of my favorite characters.
See, I liked him more in season 1 when he didn't talk.
I know.
That's because
That
he was
was-
so mysterious. He was so awesome.
Mhm.
I haven't really liked him as much when he started talking, but I haven't hated him either. I've always enjoyed him around. But I just liked him better when he didn't say a word. So, yeah, but so that goes on. He orders Renee out. Orders Renee out. He keeps Taylor for himself. Him and Taylor are going through. I don't know where he was originally bringing her. I just know they were leaving to go somewhere. I think it was to find Erika.
Yeah.
And that's when Matt discovers that Taylor's pregnant. Now, I remember when they said it, that there was mention of her being pregnant very early on the show, but I had completely forgotten up until this episode. I don't know about you.
No,
No?
I knew.
Okay. I knew, I just forgot. So, but Matt wants to use it to blackmail Erika for Taylor's life. We don't get to see that go on this episode. But how do you think that's going to turn out?
I mean, we see Erika. She seems really heartless, and she has her plans, and I don't think she would care.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's that side of me that thinks it'll pull on her heartstrings because, like he said, if Erika doesn't put me on that list or save me, then she's never going to meet her grandchild. And there's that bit where it might pull Erika over and be like, okay, I have to do something about this. But what I'm thinking is that she's not going to give a shit.
I mean, it's completely possible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, because Matt's like, he's so concerned like with being on that list. He wants to go there, and like their conversation that they had with him started putting the doubt in his mind. He's like, we're going over there right now. You're coming with me or whatever. And I don't think Erika's going to care at all. Like, she didn't care about what Taylor wanted with her boyfriend. I don't even remember her boyfriend's name now. The one that was kidnapped. And she's just like, Erika didn't care. Francis, is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think she's going to be like, whatever. Go ahead.
I think another reason why Matt is so keen on getting on that list or being on that list is because his family is also supposed to be on that list, and he says it's like a chance to reconnect and all that.
Yeah, it's possible. The next characters that I want to talk about really kind of depress me, and that's Quentin and Phoebe. Quentin started off in the web series as my favorite character. I was looking so forward to him. He comes onto the show. He was still okay, but he was kind of a letdown. And then ever since the time travel thing was messed with, Quentin has just become a major douchebag. I've not enjoyed him at all.
And he's pathetic, and he just seems just I can't even think of a word because I don't want to get too mean. Like, he doesn't fit anymore.
He just wanted to save his sister, and now that
He did.
he's done that, kind of, he's found her at least. He's just like going along with the ride, and I mean, we're starting to see some doubt.
Oh, there was probably doubt from the very get-go. As soon as he saw started seeing his sister completely change and turn into a different person, because in the web series she was happy, she was giddy, she was super bubbly, she was a really nice person. She was just trying to learn how to use her powers, and that's challenging, but she was great. And then now she's like 100% complete 180, sorry, but she's different now. It's like heaven and hell. Yeah, I know.
So many directions.
So many.
Yeah, no. They're bothering me. Phoebe's just like super bitch. I can't stand her.
I have another word for it, but I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna behave.
For once. And Luke and Melina
I love their dynamic.
have
So cute.
yeah. They have such a great dynamic together. And it's just like them paired against Quentin and Phoebe, who have like the worst dynamic. It just doesn't really give me a good like matchup comparison here.
I think it's funny because, Phoebe and Quinton, they're supposed to be siblings. They've grown up together. They were really close, and now they feel like they're in different worlds. And Luke and Melina barely just met, and they connected instantly.
Yep.
So, and the whole shirt thing, and she's like, "Can I buy this?" And he's just like, "Mm-hmm."
It reminds me of Farah.
Yeah, he doesn't even know who Farah is. She's
No.
told him, but I mean, he's just like, "Okay, you can have it."
Yeah. Luke thinks Noah's dead.
Mm-hmm.
We know that's not the case. We saw
No.
somebody teleport him out of there.
Somebody.
Is it Nathan, aka Tommy? Like,
I don't know.
it sure didn't seem that way this episode.
No. Like, it just seemed like Tommy was in all the different places. Like, he was in the future. He was with Erika. He didn't seem like... If Noah was okay, I think we would have saw even just a teensy glimpse of him this episode.
I think Noah's fine.
I know. He's fine. I don't know. To me, I think Noah was one of the main focuses this whole season. Just to because he still was kind of a dick at the end of the original Hero series, and he still needed that redemption, I think.
Yeah.
And he was getting it. He just seemed like a completely different person. He wasn't focused on Primatech anymore. He's really trying to save his family and the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Could it have been Hero?
Did it look like Hero's hand? I don't think it did.
I don't remember, to be honest.
It did look like Tommy's hand, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't see where Tommy would line up as far as the time frame went, because he was off. I think he was with Erika at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. But if he's a master of time and space, he could be in multiple places at once.
Yeah.
Time travel. It could be alternate universe.
It's true.
Tommy. There's a lot of. This is why time travel gets so messed up. I'm hoping it wasn't Tommy.
Me too. I know who you're hoping it is.
I don't necessarily know if I'm hoping it's Hero.
No, I didn't say Hero. I wasn't thinking Hero.
So what are you, Matt Parkman now?
Yep.
I was okay. I who was I thinking of then?
You want it to be Sylar.
Okay, you are Matt Parkman. Yeah, no, I definitely want it to be Sylar, of course. Why wouldn't I want it to be Sylar? Sylar, he was only able to keep one power. No, he had every power, right? He's never gotten rid of powers.
No, he's never been cleared of his powers. It was Peter who could only hold on to one.
Right, now, did Sylar ever... Sylar never got time travel, right?
No, but I mean...
He's had interactions with Hero. He's, chased Hero down before.
Yeah, and the possibility of there being other people who can maybe teleport, not time travel, but teleport.
Right.
He could easily have gotten a hold of somebody because he was taught how to extract the powers without taking out their brain.
Right.
And since the end of season 4 Heroes, a lot of Evos just started popping up everywhere.
That is true. Yeah. I don't know. We had Carlos go on a reconnaissance mission with Farah.
Oh, that was so awesome.
That was pretty damn cool. I love when he was putting the armor on. She's like, "You look like what's that Spanish wrestler? He's like a luchador."
A luchador, yeah.
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 So
Pretty freaking awesome armor.
was. So he's told the whole story of how, his grandfather was one and he broke his legs, and he had this nice metaphor of, I don't remember the exact metaphor word for word, but something about, you still, even with two broken legs, sometimes you got to stand up and do what's right. Kind of that's the general gist of how it went, and or something that's bigger than you is what he said. Yeah. And he puts on the suit. Didn't really do much for him this particular episode. He gut shotted the guy that shot the priest. He rescues Micah, or he rescued Jose and the priest, and then just before getting Micah out, the priest gets toasted, and he gut shots one of the guys, and then he punches through the glass. So I guess the suit did a little for him.
Well, yeah, the suit was breaking doors down. It was like that glass was super reinforced. There was no way he was going to get through that. Not even with a bullet.
Did he need to? Jose could have.
Well, this is true, but he made Jose hide.
No,
because
that's true too.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even want to see the priest, the pastor, whoever he was. He didn't want to see him get hurt.
No.
But I'm curious now. Does Jose's powers extend past him? Like, we've seen him go through walls and move through objects and stuff before, but what if he's holding somebody else? Can because that was a very similar power to what Micah's father had.
Yeah.
So can he go take another object with him?
Maybe. I mean, he hasn't exactly had time to work with his powers. He basically found out, and then he was taken away.
Because that would have been a great way to get Micah out. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have kind of, for me, it would have like mirrored the way Micah was trying to help out when he was Rebel.
Mm-hmm.
And, we like, have that kid in there that's trying to do good. Have him go in there, unplug Micah, pull him out through the glass, but they made him hide.
Yeah. As soon as Micah gets out, he's like, I need a computer. And then, they go through and they send this massive broadcast to the world. Right?
Yeah.
So Hero Truther reveals his identity to the public. Like, he's like, I'm Micah. Some of you may know me as Hero Truther. In the meantime, this simultaneous broadcast to the world, nobody seems to be giving a shit about it. Did you notice that?
Like everybody was walking by, going on with their business. People with umbrellas, talking on their phone, turning around. There's like a huge freaking TV with this kid's face telling you that the world is in peril, and there's one person that's keeping everybody from, saving themselves, and nobody seemed to care. Nope. But then we go back to where Tommy and his mom are, and that whole room is watching, but all the stuff before where, in Times Square and stuff, nobody was watching.
Not one person.
No.
Not one person cared. So that's clearly stock footage, but it was still really annoying to me.
Yeah, it seemed really out of place. Even just, CGI, a couple people turning around or something.
Yeah, like green screen people in and just, turn them around, looking at the thing. Pointing, gasp, ooh, ah, nothing. But, we learned that there's not one, but two solar flares. It seems a little redundant. One of them is coming for North America. It's very coincidental. And the second one is going for the rest of the world and will destroy the human race.
Mm-hmm. Just the human race, because, the dogs and cats, they're going to be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically, if a solar flare went off to wipe the world out, whatever, the only thing that's probably going to survive are cockroaches.
Yeah.
That's about it. Some microorganisms, some microorganisms, and, things like that, anything deep underground, but life will restart eventually. Give it a couple billion years.
So what you're saying is Fallout 4.
I guess. Stock up on bottle caps.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Didn't really seem like anybody gave a shit. I was expecting to get some kind of reaction from Joanna out of it, or Erika out of it, because Erika was like, they showed the video of Erika impersonating, which cleared Dr. Suresh, so, he's no longer, in the public's eye a terrorist. Everybody's like, oh my god, And then they cut over to Erika, and that's when Joanne walked in. And I was expecting Erika to be like staring at the TV screen when this is going on, but she was just looking out the window. So I don't even think she knows right now. But what's up with that encounter with Joanne and Erika?
Obviously, she sees Joanne as a competent bounty hunter, in sorts, and she wants Melina dead. Because Harris failed and Phoebe and Quinton are in the wind, so she needs somebody to do her dirty work.
Yeah. I mean, Harris definitely failed big time. Like, this is the kind of stuff that annoys me with people like this. Like, so Harris and Katana Girl have this big showdown, right? But Harris goes in as himself, the real Harris, and sends all of his clones away. Like, why? Why would you do that ever?
Because he thinks he has something to prove. And she said it. Katana Girl said it. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Ha.
Ha.
The worst. Yeah, I don't know. Like, she clearly was about to win. She injured him, stabbed him. He was bleeding his own blood. And then he just went into like Super Saiyan mode and just like started beating the crap out of her. She didn't even stand a chance. And if it wasn't for the fact that she was glitching in and out still, she would have lost that.
You know what? I almost think that she was able to control her glitching at a certain point. Like, she felt that she was in that time of peril, and she's like, okay, I need to stab him somehow, so let's just do it through my own chest. Because she took her makeshift spear lance out of her body, and she was fine because of the glitching.
Right. Until she glitched away completely.
Yeah.
So
Might not be completely.
Maybe, but like, what does that mean? Like, where did she go? Is it like we saw some mention of her father and the real Katana Girl's out there? It's like the real daughter, the person that she's modeled after.
She's hooked up into one of those pods.
Right. So I wonder if that's the Katana Girl character might be the consciousness of the daughter that was put into a program.
Yeah.
And then the program got out. So the consciousness was released from the body. It was separated. And if the father is trying to download her back into the body, that could be what all that was going on. So I'm hoping that's what it was. And, so we still get her, retain her memories, that kind of stuff. But it's really interesting that the battle for, between Katana Girl was foretold in the Ninth Wonders comic, which there was an ad right next to the article. I don't know if you caught it, with Isaac Mendez in there and his New York penthouse address. His picture was in there and his New York address was there. And I was just like, oh, it's Isaak, because he's the one that wrote those comics. So, like, at the season 1, he hasn't been around since season 1.
I mean, are the comics new?
I don't think so. I think this is a comic book series that he made. That's what this seems. He made all of the Ninth Wonders.
He's better at telling the future than Angela is, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is something, that he foresaw 10 years ago almost. And he just kept pumping them out and probably didn't realize that they were comics of the future or anything, because that's a long time, The stuff that was happening like recent, like with Hero and all that kind of stuff, there was a time when he realized that. But who knows how many he actually wrote?
We don't know, because we know that back when we met Isaak, he was a drug addict and he just completely black out and paint or draw whatever and he wouldn't remember. So he could have possibly put out issue after issue after issue without even knowing it.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Overall, I really, really did enjoy this episode. I don't know. Was there anything else?
Not really, no. I mean, I thought it was great in comparison to the last couple episodes we'd seen, just
Mm-hmm.
because they seem, like I said, they seem to drag, and they pumped a lot of action and just they really focused on some of the characters that they had put on the side for a
Yep.
while, which was really great. Like Carlos, love him, needed to see more.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are, like you were talking about Quentin, that made me really sad. Seeing Phoebe be a complete, I don't even, I can't put a term to that. But I'm so glad that Luke took that, he butted her in the back of the head with his gun and she just fell. And I was like, yes, she deserved it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. Next week, the episode, or I should technically say tomorrow. But you guys watching at home, probably not watching this before it airs. The episode is called Company Woman, which is really interesting because we've always known Noah to be the company man. So Company Woman, Tommy helps Erika with her survival plan at the end of civilization approaches. Melina rushes to reunite with Tommy as a plot against them is formed. Matt Parkman's attempts to make sure he and his family are safe could jeopardize Taylor's safety. So, kind of a smaller synopsis than what we're used to for this show.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really tell us much.
No.
It's
I
pretty much
mean,
everything we already know.
are we assuming that what they mean by company woman, they're talking about Erika?
I'm thinking that they're referring to Joanne, because Noah was kind of like the bag 'em and tag 'em guy, and now with Erika in charge of the new Primatech Corporation and all that, she recruited Joanne. So I think since Joanne's basically been going around hunting Evos, I think it could refer to her.
So I'm hoping that if it is about her, that she gets her due, because it's obvious that I've never always been forward about how I dislike Joanne.
Yeah.
So
I mean, did we ever see her and Luke's kid get killed during the events of?
no.
Because there's a possibility he's still alive, and if he is, that's going to be like the only thing that's going to be able to bring her back to reality.
Yeah, I think Erika has him, to be honest. I think
Crazy.
he did. I did think he had a power. He just wasn't in it yet.
He had
It
a
wasn't
power. It had something to do with the sun, and right? Because he was all covered.
He was allergic to sunlight, the UV rays,
Right.
which makes it really funny, like ironic, because his dad harnesses the sun.
Right.
So I like that's why I feel like he had a power. He just didn't know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Erika or somebody must have came across him in the wreckage and just, saved him. And now he's somewhere in Renatus,
Yeah.
caged up, hooked up, whatever.
100%. I 100% agree with you on that one. So, till next week.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
Oh, yeah, they can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYVENOM24.
Excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM.
Oh, do.
You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASO TV Podcast for more podcasts or some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week. Excuse me. See you guys later.
Laters. Don't get ahead of yourself.
You're the worst.